Well, folks, I know I'm very grateful that Donald Trump won the election and will be returning to power, as I'm sure many of you are. But we must never forget about the greatest political cover-up of all time, something that put our country in grave risk, in grave danger, and left the most powerful country in the world without a coherent commander-in-chief. That's right. I'm talking about Joe Biden, a man who's cognitively past his peak, to say the least. Old Joe got behind the microphone yesterday and reminded us all about the lies that the mainstream media allowed the power-hungry Democrats to tell us for the better part of the past 4 years.
And I'm anxious. I may not eat. I may come around the table and meet all your kids. Because everybody knows I like kids better than people.
Oh, my gosh. First of all, Joe, kids are people, remember. Second, nobody wants you anywhere near their children. We've proven that. Nobody's forgotten about the Halloween fiasco or the Easter Bunny. Remember those? We all remember just a few weeks ago, a delusional Joe Biden, for whatever reason, decided to go around the White House biting children, like physically biting. That's disgusting. You heard me right. It's not an AI. What you're watching right now is the president, sitting president of the United States, literally biting children. That's disgusting. This really happened right here in America. Needless to say, Joe Biden talking about his love for kids may not be the smartest thing to do right about now. Then again, he's got nothing to lose. He's a lame duck and he knows it. Biden's very public deterioration has completely destroyed our national security. It's a major problem and has been for some years, yet somehow there are still people living in America that think freedom of speech poses a bigger threat than that lunatic over there. I'd like to introduce you all to Joan Donovan. This creature has graciously titled herself Disinformation Researcher, and she, I think it's a she, has arrogantly given herself the power to determine what belongs all across the internet.
You can't run a platform at the whims of one man's decisions. And so I do think that it really creates a massive national security issue for every country that allows these platforms to persist without strict adherence to even enforcing their own terms of service.
Well, if this Joan is that upset about the internet, I wonder how she feels about making America healthy again. It's remarkable that these liberal overlords think they have the power to determine what we can and cannot see and say in a free society, in this free country. I agree, disinformation is a problem, but we get most of that from the left. That's exactly why the mainstream media is dying. Harris advisor David Plouffe just put a major myth to rest. Listen to David Plouffe completely expose Kamala Harris and her entire team as the frauds that we all suspected that they were, and now he proves it.
When we got in, my recollection is some of that snapped back, but, we were behind. I mean, I think it surprised people because there was these public polls that came out in late September, early October, showing us with leads that we never saw. It was just basically a race that in the battlegrounds was 46-47, 47-48. So that's not where we started. We started behind. She was able to climb out. I think even after the debate, we might have gained, 0.51. It wasn't a race that moved a lot.
Now, if you don't remember, David Plouffe, he's a smart guy. He was on Obama's team, very, very smart Democrat operative who really doesn't hold any punches. So basically, David Plouffe is confirming that the national media constantly lied to our faces nonstop. Kamala Harris never led Donald Trump in the battleground states at any point, yet poll after poll said differently. Remember all those polls? Oh, she's beating him now in Georgia. Bullshit. She wasn't beating him anywhere. $1 billion later and a plethora of lies later, this crazy woman never for one moment held even a marginal lead. Yet, the losers at MSNBC told all Trump supporters to be nervous. This is exactly why the 2024 election will be known as the official funeral of the corrupt legacy propaganda mainstream media. They lie, and now they're paying for it. Republicans weren't the only ones lied to about the status of Kamala's campaign. We can't forget about all the obsessed and oppressed liberal white women. Remember this? They were obsessed and oppressed. They felt horrible. Remember? They're still taking the election loss at heart. Some of these social justice warriors got together and went to Lake Michigan, where they screamed at the water in a sign of solidarity and protest against the election that they lost. Look at it there. These folks are the same people that wonder why they lost a crucial election in dominant fashion. I mean, let's think about it for a second. Didn't Tim Walz come out and basically become the vice presidential nominee because he said, we on the right were weird? We on the right were weird? Those folks are weird. Give me a break. These liberals, they've got nothing better to do than to bitch and moan about losing an election. Get a job. How about that? These freaks want us to believe that they're the most oppressed demographic in America. Yet, they have all the time in the world to go throw $300 puffer jackets on and go scream in a lake while the rest of us work. Respectfully, pound sand, folks.